Good afternoon and welcome back to my channel. Right now, I have a bonus tip before we even start getting into the real tips, and I just found it out. Okay, so if you're like me and you have a planner and you want to put glitter or something on it, but you don't know how and you don't want to get it all messy, get a ruler that has glitter inside of it, cut it open, and then squeeze out the glitter. It's kind of hard because okay, come on, okay, and then you do, and look, all pretty, kind of messy, but pretty. Skylar approved. Hello everyone, welcome back. This week I have decided to do one of those back to school things because it's already back to school season, which is crazy. But yeah, so I know a lot of people have already started school / are starting school very soon, and so I'm a little behind on this kind of video, but like I don't really care. I don't have any other ideas. So here are 25 tips for high school freshmen. The first one is don't buy more supplies than you actually need. So for example, wait until you get your syllabus for each class and then figure out what you actually need. I did not do this my freshman year, and I went way overboard on supplies, and I ended up not even using half of them. So honestly, depending on like your school and like what they allow, I would definitely recommend using your student email if you're given one of those, and using Google Docs for like notes and Quizlet and like all those online resources. But if you have to use like notebooks and all that kind of stuff, like I would get maybe one or two Wide World or College World, because College World is so much better. One or more than one bad grade don't define your whole future, because honestly my grades suck and my GPA is terrible. But yeah, so my recommendation is, if you are struggling because you're so used to getting like A's and high B's in middle school, throw all that out the window. High school is a very different experience from middle school and elementary school, and it's like the big leagues. Like, a few bad grades honestly are not going to kill you. I got so many, and I'm in college, so as long as you study and you try your best, you'll be fine. Okay, the third one is don't cram for your tests or exams the night before, because I did this so much and I did so awful. Instead, try to like space it out and like plan out like at least a week in advance, and always use blue or black pen because it helps you remember better. You will make a ton of mistakes that could have easily been prevented. When I was a junior, I didn't handle the situation very well. I'm not going to say what it was, but I didn't handle the situation very well, and I ended up losing one of my good friends. The three of us ended up like talking a little bit again, like me with one friend more than the other. But if I would have handled that situation with a little bit more maturity and actually talked to the person and owned up to what I did, it would have all been like resolved much faster. Number 5, don't change who you are to impress others. I did this quite a bit. It took me until senior year to realize that that was all stupid. Like, I would try to dress a certain way even though I didn't like how it felt and like how it made me look, and just overall in general like didn't like it. And I tried to act a certain way to impress certain people, and overall it just was not successful. Like, if I would have just started freshman year off like how I wanted to be, I would have made like a million times more friends. Like, I had a good amount of friends and I had a great friend group and like all this kind of stuff, but like I would have just been, I guess, accepted by so many more people if like I was just who I was and didn't care what other people thought. Keep your old friends close, but also make plenty of new friends, because while your old friendships are still very valuable and are still important to keep in order to start high school, because you don't want to start high school with like no friends with the intent to make new friends, because I'm going to be honest, you're probably not going to make friends the very first day of school. A lot of people probably aren't. They're probably going to be with their friend group and like doing things with the people they know and feel comfortable around in order to make the beginning of high school a little bit easier. So definitely keep your old friends close, but as you start your freshman year and or any other year after that, don't be afraid to like reach out to people you think are cool or are funny or you see in class and you're like, oh, I'd like to be friends with them. Like, honestly, I know it's scary and like I still deal with like how scary it is, but like it's not as bad as it seems. Like, over the years I've kind of realized that I could have made even more friends if I just took a little bit more initiative instead of waiting for everyone to come to me. Like, it would have made it 1,000 times easier. Okay, number 7, it kind of ties back into number 6 a little bit, but not really. There's a very high chance you're not going to end high school with the friends you started high school with. I started high school with a very small, very close-knit group of friends, and over time, that group of friends and I also moved on to find different groups of friends. I still keep in touch with all of them, because it was really just like the 4 of us. Like, we were super close. We had been friends since 6th or 7th grade, and you know, we just kind of got along really well, and we always hung out. But then over the years, as we all found new groups of people that we really enjoyed and really had fun with, we kind of drifted from each other, not necessarily on purpose, but that's just kind of how it went. Homework, extracurriculars, after-school activities, eventually jobs, and keeping up with each other and new friends just kind of made it hard to, you know, maintain that same relationship we had when we were in like 6th and 7th grade. Okay, and then the next one is, don't be afraid to ask for help from anyone. I really struggle with this too, because I've kind of had like a huge battle with anxiety pretty much all my life. And it really didn't start to affect me a whole lot until high school. And for the first 3 years, I didn't really ask for help a whole lot because I didn't know who to ask. I didn't know if I should ask, if it would be a weird thing to ask, if, you know, just I had always thought, what if? But then my senior year came around, and my pre-cal class sucked. My pre-cal teacher, even worse. Nobody liked him. He was like the worst teacher you could ever ask for help from. So I ended up going to the football coach to ask, hey, I need help with math, and I know you teach algebra. Can you help me? So he asked to take my study guide home one day and study it over the weekend and make sure he knew what he was doing. And he came back on Tuesday and he was like, okay, I got this. Come to my edge, which is basically like free period right after lunch where you go get help if you need it, and if you don't need help, you just can go do whatever you want as long as you're in a room, I guess, kind of. So I went to his edge, and he helped me, and I ended up getting my first day in the class because of him. So it's definitely scary to ask for help, but it's totally worth it. If I hadn't reached out to him the first time for math help, like, I wouldn't have made that special connection with him, and I wouldn't have had that kind of important person in my life. Like, I know, you know, you have your parents and everything, but like, you just kind of like, I wouldn't have had that like in school. Like, I know that, you know, you have your parents and your friends. Having someone in school to help just makes your experience there so much easier, and honestly made my senior year that much better. Next, I want to talk about how you should not slack off just because it's your freshman year. Because my GPA was actually the best my freshman year, and I slacked off the whole time. Because if you start to slack off your freshman year, sophomore, junior, and senior year, which are increasingly more important, if you start off high school slacking and not doing your homework, not doing well on tests, it's going to make it that much harder to recover during your sophomore, junior, and senior year, which ended up what happened to me, and let me tell you, it's not fun. Okay, and the next 2 I have are kind of related. The first one is get out of your comfort zone, and the second is get involved. You know, you just generally want to do both in order to have like a great time in high school. If you get involved in things that take you out of your comfort zone, that's just going to make it 1,000 times better. I wish I would have been more active and participated in more stuff during my high school career, but I didn't because I was too afraid to step out of like my own little bubble, and in doing so, I didn't get involved. And I didn't really do much outside of school. I mostly just came home and just kind of did whatever I wanted, which kind of sucked. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't the best, but if I would have gotten involved and gotten more out of my comfort zone, I would have definitely had like a much better time in high school. Okay, so this one I kind of mentioned earlier, so I'm only going to touch on it a little bit. Develop a relationship with at least 2 of your teachers as soon as you can. For me, it didn't happen until senior year. I got super close with the football coach, and I aided for another one of my favorite teachers that year, and honestly, I wish I had found somebody like them in freshman year, because, you know, it was kind of hard going through high school with all the problems I had, like with anxiety and depression a little bit, but knowing them or knowing of someone who would have been able to help me earlier than senior year would have been so nice, and would have made my whole high school experience a lot easier. And even if you can't do that your freshman year, that's totally fine, but just try to, like, if you see any teachers you like, maybe go talk to them just once and be like, hey, you seem cool, can I come here for whatever? And then just build a relationship, or even wait till your sophomore year or junior year or senior year. But the sooner you do it, the better experience you're going to have. Next, I'm going to talk about how to think about the future. I know that you might be a freshman or a sophomore or even a junior, but you really should start thinking about what you want to do as soon as you can, because I know a lot of my friends, like while they were seniors, they struggled with knowing what college they wanted to go to, knowing what they wanted to do, and like all this kinds of stuff. And you can, like, I went into college undecided because I still wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do, but I would start thinking about maybe your hobbies or anything like that, and start thinking, what careers can I make out of this, and how much would I actually enjoy making money off of this, and does it even make good money, and what college can I go to ensure that, you know, I'm getting the best education after high school for it. Okay, also, don't worry so much. I know it's scary, and I'm probably saying like all like the craziest things, and probably is freaking you out, but I promise, high school does not sound as bad as it seems. As long as you put the work in, as long as you make it easier on yourself, you make new friends, you try new things, it's honestly the best time you'll ever have. Like, I haven't been to college yet. I'm only going to be a freshman next week, but, you know, still, it's like, just don't worry about the future. Like, nothing's going to come from worrying about it. Also, you will discover that your least favorite number will be 89, because if you have something like Infinite Canvas, where it's like an electronic grade book basically, and you get to keep up with your grades as your teachers enter all of your essay grades, all of your test grades, all of your homework grades, participation grades, any kinds of grades, you will be able to see like what they are on Infinite Campus or otherwise. And if you get an 89, it's happened to me, and it's happened to so many of my friends, where they'll either get an 89 on a test or on an essay, and if they, because the thing is, you're only 1 point away from an A, which is the worst, because you honestly think, like, what could I have done to get an extra point? It's honestly so infuriating, especially once you get to like the end of the year and you get like an 89.4, because in Infinite Campus, at least, once you get an 89.5, it'll round up to a 90. But if you get an 89.4, it's honestly excruciatingly painful. Just please try to avoid the number 89. Do it for you, please. So that's pretty much all I have. Sorry. I hope everyone has a good first day or first week or first month or whatever of school, because school sucks. But yeah, honestly, just enjoy it. Have fun. Don't die. Don't make yourself stressed or anxious or depressed because of classes, because that sucks. If you have any questions, comment them down below. I will answer, most likely. You should also subscribe, hit the bell, like, comment, anything, not just questions. Just whatever you want to comment, as long as it's not creepy. So I'll see y'all next week with my dorm move-in vlog, so yeah. Bye!